My dear students, let me welcome you uh, to my continuous series of Python distribution. It's again discrete series. And in my previous video, I've explained you about the discrete kind of series with regard to binomial distribution, where the binomial distribution speaks about two different parameters, maybe like P and Q, probability of success and failure, with a finite sample size. But whereas in the case of Poisson distribution, it's a kind of no unique kind of series where it deals with infinite sample size, infinite number of trials. At the same time, as n tends to infinity, the probability of occurrence or probability of any particular event that is expecting going to be zero. We say that as the number of trials approaches infinity, and its probability of occurrence approaches zero. This particular example can be related to a kind of specific events may be called as they are rare occurrences, very rare in nature. If you say very rare in nature, any kind of outbreak of disease, kind of famine, a kind of drought, maybe any such kind of rare events can be formulated with the help of or by using Poisson series or Poisson distribution. And if you compare the properties of binomial as well as Poisson distribution, there is a unique kind of differences. When it comes to binomial series, we speak about the finite sample size, but when it comes to Poisson series, we speak about infinite sample size. Again, when it comes to binomial distribution, we speak about two different parameters, P and Q, or maybe two different factors, P and Q, but here no such parameter itself, P and Q. And we consider that P as well as Q are going to be some unknown things, some going to be kind of unknown factors, may not be, I can say, determined properly. In such cases, one is rate expectations, and another is n is number of trials are infinite in number, and again your probability is going to be very much zero. That is the occurrences that are going to approach zero, very, I can say, least in their percentage of chances. Okay, when you say the properties again of Poisson distribution or Poisson series, we have I can say a list of such properties. Number one, we call it as the mean of Poisson distribution. One is called as mean. This is about Poisson series or Poisson distribution. Now, you say the mean, here I call it as NP as usual, but we have a different symbol that is called as lambda. Now, in some cases, okay, it is called as lambda, or in some textbook they refer it as M. Both M as well as lambda, okay, they are same and it is called as NP. Now, at the same time, okay, we have variance. Here, variance is equal to mean is equal to NP. Now again SD, this is equal to standard deviation of NP. These are all some of the most important parameters of your Poisson series. Now let me explain what is called as your how to estimate the Poisson series or Poisson probability distributions. Again, this Poisson distribution or Poisson series, they are also called as discrete frequency distributions. In my previous video, I have explained about the observed frequency series where x and f are known. Okay, it's a kind of observed series, and based on that, okay, we have the frequency of expectations as per your binomial series. Now here in the same case, you have some observed frequencies, okay, based on its occurrences. Maybe I can say x as your variable and f as its rate of occurrences and all. Now here I am going to have my Poisson series or Poisson estimations, and this is going to be p of x as my Poisson function. Now this is going to be what is called as P of x, this is equal to e to the power of minus lambda and lambda power x divided by x factorial. Now x is going to be a random variable ranging from 0 to n. Okay, again x is positive in positive integer. Now I can say p of x in the case of Poisson series, this is equal to e to the power of minus lambda power x divided by x factorial. This is the probability mass function or probability density function of Poisson series, where lambda is going to be np and this is equal to mean or average. Next, e is a constant and x is equal to maybe 0, 1, 2 till n, and n is positive. This is about introduction to Poisson series, and again I repeat that Poisson series are very much applicable to the estimation of the rare occurrences. Okay, whenever there is a kind of rare occurrences, a rare phenomena, okay, very rare phenomena in nature, okay, not very frequent in nature, okay, not very much I can say often in nature, okay, in such kind of things we call them as, okay, rare occurrences. Now for the rare occurrence I can say, okay, it could be the chances of outbreak of a disease like a COVID-19. Next, number 2, maybe a kind of drought situations, maybe war, and again I can say any kind of natural calamities and disasters, all of those such things. And basically your Poisson distribution is very much helpful in predicting kind of natural disasters, the rate of their occurrences and the rate of their chances to happen. Okay, given their average occurrences, the average phenomena, then it will be useful for me to predict the chances of its occurrence, even the earthquake predictions and natural calamities, disasters and all. Okay, we can use Poisson distribution to predict it. Okay, now let me explain a simple problem with regard to Poisson series or Poisson distribution. And here I have taken a problem, a kind of case I can say. I say that in a ward, on an average, okay, 3 COVID-19 positive cases were reported for every 10 cases tested. They say that for every 10 cases, tested, okay, for every 10 cases tested, COVID-19 positive, there are 3. See, for every 10 tested, I have 3 positives. Now, therefore, I can say NP or mean, this is equal to 3 divided by 10, this is equal to 0.3. Please note, this is an important factor. They say that in the very first statement, every 10 cases tested, every 10 samples tested, COVID-19 positive, okay, were reported as 3. Out of 10, there are 3 positives reported. Now, if that is the case, if there are 500 of such samples, if there are 500 of such samples, they say that if there are 500 of such samples, then say if there are 500 of such samples were tested, find the probability of number 1, no positive case, no positive. Next, at least 1 positive. Number 3, 3 positive cases. Number 4, maximum 3 positive cases. I said lambda is equal to mean is equal to 0.3. Now I have 500 of such samples to be tested. Out of 500, how many are going to be no positive cases? How many are going to be at least 1 positive cases out of 500 I'm telling? Okay, because 500 samples were tested and 3 positive cases exactly and maximum 3 positive cases exactly. Let me have this discrete estimations. Let me have this discrete probability calculations. Now I'll take one by one. Okay, well, they say that no positive cases. No positive cases. That is P of x is equal to 0. Now we have the function as P of x is equal to e to the power of minus lambda, lambda power x divided by x factorial. Now they say that P of x is equal to 0. Now I say that P of x is equal to 0. This is for question number 1, no positive cases. This is again I say no positive cases. If you say P of x is equal to 0, this is going to be e to the power of minus lambda. Lambda is 0.3. Average is given. Out of 10, there are 3 positives. That's what the observation is. Now 0.3 to the power of 0 and again 0 factorial. Now what about this e to the power of minus 0.3? E to the power of minus 0.3 as constant available in your statistical tables. Okay, Poisson distribution tables are readily available. Now e to the power of minus 0.3, okay, that is given 0.7408. It's a constant. E to the power of minus 0.3, that's given, that is equal to 0.7408. Now if I calculate the P of x is equal to 0, I'll have this value as just similar to your the previous one. P of x is equal to for binomial distribution. Here also the same, but the formula differs. This is 0.7408 into 1 divided by 1, because any number raised to the power of 0 is 1, 0 factorial is also is equal to 1. Now ultimately P of x is equal to 0. Okay, we have this P of x is equal to 0. I have your mean value itself. I have this value as 0. P of x is equal to 0. This is equal to 0.7408. This is the probability of expecting. None of them are positive cases. But I don't want this probability as per the given condition. There's out of 500, how many samples are expected to be of no positives? Now, if out of 500, this is going to be n into P of x is equal to 0. If you say n into P of x is equal to 0, this is equal to n is 500 and 0.7408. Now, this is going to be 500 multiplied by 0.7408. This is 370.4. Okay, you can round it off, say 370. Let me say that out of 500, 370 samples are going to be no positive cases at all. Out of 500, you can expect the positive cases. Okay, 500 minus 370 and 370 are going to be all negative. That's what they say. Okay, only out of that, okay, 130, you may have some COVID-19 positive cases may be reported. Now let me go for the second one. This is what exactly? P of x is equal to 0 multiplied by 500. Okay, this is 370.4, and the conclusion is out of 500 samples were tested, there is going to be 370 cases as no or negative positive or negative COVID-19 cases. No positive seconds. Okay. Next, go for the second one. In the second one, they say that at least one positive. If you say at least one positive, P of x more than or equal to 1. The same, I can say symbolic representations, so the same notations can be used. Again, this is 1 minus P of x is equal to 0. If you saw 1 minus P of x is equal to 0, this is 1 minus P of x is equal to 0, already calculated 0.7408. Now this is going to be 1 minus 0.7408, this is 0.2592. Now you say 0.2592 out of 500, therefore, okay, out of 500 samples, this is going to be n into P of x is equal to x more than or equal to 1, sorry, p of x more than or equal to 1. Now multiplied by 500, I'll make it, okay, 0.2592 into 500, 0.2592 multiplied by 500. Now this is equal to n into p of x more than or equal to 1. This is 1 minus p of x is equal to 0. Again I can simplify this, n into p of 1 minus n into 1 minus p of x is equal to 0. Now this is equal to 0.2592 into 500. Now this is n is 500, that is given there, and 1 minus p of x is equal to 0, 1 minus 0.7408. Now this is going to be 129.6. Approximately you can take 130. Out of 500, 130, among 130 will be at least one positive cases, minimum one. And even it could be more than 1, 2. Maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, like that. Any number more than 1. Next. They say that number 3 positive cases exactly. P of x is equal to 3 exactly. Now this is going to be e to the power of minus lambda power x divided by x factorial. Now what is the value of x? See, what's the power of lambda? And I have this data with me. E power minus lambda is equal to e power minus 0.3. That is given 0.7408. It is from your Poisson distribution tables. Now 3 factorial, that is 3 into 2 into 1, that is equal to 6. Now use the same values here. E to the power of minus lambda, e to the power of minus 0.3 into lambda to the power of x. Lambda is equal to 0.3 to the power of 3, x is 3, and divided by 3 factorial. Now if I simplify this, I'll get this value as e to the power of minus 0.3, 7408, 0.7408 into 0.3 raised to the power of 3, that is 0.027 divided by 6. Now ultimately, okay, if I simplify this, I'll get this as 0.0033. 0.0033. Now out of 500, if you say the same thing multiplied by this probability value, therefore n into p of x is equal to 3, that is 500 multiplied by 0.0033. Now this is going to be, okay, 0.16. They say that maximum 3 positive cases, it's going to be less than 1. Very less. That is less than 1. Almost you can, if you round it off, okay, you can take 0. No, that is maximum 3 positive cases. That's going to be no such, I can say, situation may be faced. That is, I can say maybe 1 positive, okay, maybe 3 positives, but maximum 3. That is 3 positive cases. Now 3 positive cases is going to 0.16, very less in number. And if you say maximum 3 positive cases, there is a difference between exactly equal to 3 and maximum 3. Maximum 3 is less than or equal to 3. Maybe 3, maybe 2, maybe 1, maybe 0. That's what they say. Now if you say maximum 3 positive cases, P of x less than or equal to 3. Maybe this is P of x is equal to 3. Maybe P of x is equal to 2. Maybe P of x is equal to 1. Maybe P of x is equal to 0. This is maximum 3. If you say maximum 3, maybe 3, maybe 2, maybe 1, maybe 0. This is less than or equal to 3. Now, if you say less than or equal to 3, now I have to calculate one by one. I need to find what's p of x equal to 3. It's already there with us 2, 1 and 0. Let me do the calculations one by one. Okay, I take these estimations one after the other, and we have this p of x is equal to 3 already. I write it again for your sake. Now e to the power of minus 0.3 to the power of 3 divided by 3 factorial. Now this is going to be 0.0003. Now p of x is equal to 2 e to the power of minus 0.3 to the power of 2 divided by 2, that is 2 factorial is 2. Now this is going to be 0.0033. P of x is equal to 1. This is equal to e to the power of minus 0.3 to the power of 1 divided by 1. Now this is 0.22. Again, we say p of x is equal to 0. P of x is equal to 0. We have the value as 0.7408. P of x is equal to 0. 0.7408. You need to find the values one after the other. Okay, please note down the decimal values. Okay, this is p of x is equal to 3, 0.0003 and 2, 003 and 0.222 and this here is x is equal to 0 is 0.7408. Now applying the maximum 3 condition, I say that maximum 3 is equal to 3210. I have to add all these numbers. Now if I add all these numbers, p of x less than or equal to 3. Now this is going to be 0.00033 plus 0.003 recurring here. Next 0.222 plus 0.7408. This is going to be 0.96643. Now out of 500, if you say, therefore out of 500, multiply this by 500, that is 0.96643 multiply by 500, I get the answer as 483.2. This is what exactly they say, that less than 3, maybe 3, maybe 2, maybe 1, maybe 0, that is 483 people may be affected by COVID-19. This is less than or equal to 3. Maybe 3, maybe 2, maybe 1, maybe 0. It's a maximum 3. That's it. Thank you.